Hey friends, look what time it is. It is Tuesday, and it is 5:30 on the Pacific Coast, which means it is time for the Two Guys Tech HomeLab Hour episode. What are we? Episode 16. We've been doing this. Yeah, that's a lot. Anyway, chat's there. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this one, like right here. This is a new StreamYard feature. It shows chats. So if you see yourself there, congratulations. You're now immortalized forever in the YouTubes. My name is Rich Teslo. We do this every week. The HomeLab Hour is all about hanging out and talking about technology and home labs and self-hosting and all those things. And it's a good opportunity to ask questions. You know, if you got questions about any of the videos we made on YouTube, or you just got, questions about home labbing you want to get answered, throw them into a chat. I have a special surprise for you guys this week, but we'll talk about that in a second. Allison, Jason, Sakura, John, look at all you beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining me on a beautiful Tuesday evening. I only get a few Discord plugs that I get to do, and I relish the deliciousness of my Discord plugs as I try to not do more than 2 a show. So here's my first one. We have a Discord. That's where a lot of the beautiful people that you see in this chat are. I'm saying beautiful people a lot tonight. So go check out our Discord. It's totally free. Hang out. It's more real time. You can talk to people just like you and me who like doing servers and computers and home labs and that kind of fun stuff. Sean, good evening as well. And that's Discord plug number 1. This show, we're going to do something a little different. Brandon is back in Oregon. And so, he's helping, we'll talk about him in a second. And I'm going to have him on the show. We're going to do a 2-part, just going to hang out. I haven't seen the dude in forever, it feels like. So it's going to be time to hang out with Brandon, talk about nerd home lab stuff, talk about what's in the tech news. What's over there for me, but over there for you. And, but first I want to get to a personal story, because that's how I like to start these things. It's a sad day in my household. Rusty, our beloved vacuum cleaner, the Sharknado, Shark Clean, whatever it is, the Shark vacuum cleaner that we've got, Rusty's dead. Rusty is only 3 months old. And so it was very unfortunate to have Rusty bite the dust. Now, however, not technically Rusty's fault. Rusty's fine. His battery is dead. His base, the thing that is used to charge him and do all of the things that Rusty needs to do, it's dead. Not cool. $600 of electric or vacuum cleaner thing died. Called him up though. I will say, and this is this Game Over Dave's in the chat. Good to see you, Dave. John, I don't know if it's the one you recommended or not. I will say that this is an opportunity for all of you in the chat who recommended a different RoboVac to be like, dude, you screwed up. You played yourself, fool. So I called them. I called the support people, and awkward but interesting, they did a video call with me to make me prove that Rusty was in fact dead. I did a Zoom call with a stranger on the East Coast and showed him my vacuum cleaner, and I didn't charge him for it. Anyway, that's it. I don't know if I'll ever get a new vacuum cleaner, but it's under warranty, so we'll have to see what happens. With that, I have a special guest. I think he's a special guest. Jason said, I don't do RoboVacs. I like my Shark Vac. Well, it's a Shark RoboVac, Jason, so it should be the best. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so I mentioned Brandon's back, and I want to celebrate him coming back to, after being long travels. And so we're going to have him hang out with us on the live show today, talk tech and that kind of stuff. If you don't know who Brandon is, then I don't know where you've been, but, Brandon is the guy who helps do a ton of the things that I'm super busy, too busy to do. He's the guy who produces this show. So when there are things pop up on the screen, it's usually him pressing butos, unless I'm getting creative and doing it. He helps with the show notes for everything we do here. He's the guy who makes sure that the website doesn't look like trash. Have you been to my website? And he's also the guy who's really the foundation of configuring our Discord that we have. That's not a plug, by the way. I'm just saying he does the Discord administration stuff. And he's also a guest star on the Two Guys Tech podcast. Did you know I had a podcast? Anyway, sorry. And with that, let's get Brandon here. Brandon, Welcome.
How's it going?
So this is what Brandon looks like, guys, if you've never seen him. Although I think you've seen him because he's been on live shows with John and I, and in the past, and we've done stuff together. So welcome,
No,
sir.
no, John, I cannot fix him. Uh,
There's nothing. There's not a single thing you can do to fix this. This is permanent.
but yeah,
Anyway, so Brandon,
thanks for having me on. I kind of want to know more about where you were last week. Why did you miss the live show?
not last
Or
week.
2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks ago. My bad.
Yeah. So I was at the Nutanix Next conference. They call that a conference to learn all the things about Nutanix, and it was a eye-opening experience. I got some really crazy access. And I don't mean because I'm like, hold up. I didn't get access
media?
because I'm media. I didn't go as media. I went as a professional. There was no like, this is two guys tech doing a thing. No, it was just me being there to learn about Nutanix for an enterprise deal. So, but I got to meet I met the senior architect for AHV. That's the hypervisor that runs on. Just a lot of good, deep conversations. I got told. Oh, I didn't tell you guys this. I was told that I'm a troll.
How so?
And I was like, I'm a troll. Yay for day job travel. I agree. Because I ask questions. Because I complained about stuff. It's basically it. I was told that because I will visit the Nutanix user groups that happen here locally because I'm in there asking the tough questions, and I always try to keep those people on their toes, even though they're just doing their jobs. They're just there to do the thing, and I'm like, when are you gonna do this? When are you gonna do that? Why are you like this? And then they're just like so there was an ask for me to tell you about the cab ride. So
Oh no, here we go.
Which is probably immortalized in the last live show. But the TLDR is I had a very interesting cab ride with a very gregarious man who I think was crazy. And me and the coworker were stuck in his vehicle as we were tooling down, a highway heading to the convention center in Washington, D.C., where he informed me in a very matter-of-fact, serious way that aliens are real, but we had it all wrong. Aliens aren't men. They're women, and they're cloning men. And he was serious, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, and the wherewithal to trap you in a car and tell you that, right?
If I was nuts, I think I'd be an Uber driver just so I could spread my craziness. Because it's a perfect thing. You're in an Uber, you're driving down the road, and you can't get out of the car, and the car's not stopped, right? Although I think the Uber app actually has a button to be like, I'm in danger.
Yeah, help, please.
Help, press the I'm in danger button. I'm in danger.
But
I'm in danger.
So, back to the Nutanix thing. So the worst kept secret in the tech industry for the longest time was the peer review, right? They were separating their storage. What was kind of the feel from the Nutanix team about that? Because this is the company that has on their website the hyper converged Bible.
Yeah, that's true. The way I would describe it was obviously because it was announced in their big one of their big opening sessions that obviously they're opening up. They're changing their tune, and that's good because they need to, because you can't be hyperconverged solely anymore. Not if you'll miss out on an opportunity to take a bunch of VMware customers, right? An opportunity to really compete with VMware in a way, because as that behemoth slowly withers away and exits the main stage as the 800-pound gorilla, it's your opportunity to get in there. So I think they're executing it. I don't like that they decided to make it all special and proprietary, and that they're doing these custom integrations. I don't like that at all. By the way, in the video that I made, the short video, I say in the video something to the effect of they were tight-lipped about who's going to be next, but I have an idea. I'm paraphrasing, right? And then I zoom in on the graph from Gartner, and I zoom in intentionally on the person that I think, or the company that I think is next. So go back and watch it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I don't work there. I don't have any NDAs with them. So, Alexandria, hello from Oregon. And Kevin, gosh, it's good to have you guys on there. What did Geek of All Trades say? He said, "Oh, that was Crazy Larry. Don't mind him. He may be a little nuts, but he makes wonderful cupcakes." He probably does, but they're laced with LSD. What was the joke that Brandon, you said to me when we were talking in the pre-show? You're like, he's not wrong. Women do make clones of humans. It's just a biological process, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even.
We don't have time to explain that right now.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if he would be interested in listening to me explain how biology works. I don't know if I would have said. Yeah. I mean, if I'd have said to him, "Excuse me, sir, but you're clearly wrong. The Greys don't make clones of humans," and he'd have probably like, I don't know. You know,
look, don't mess with it unless you're in his car too. Yeah. Going, I assume about 95. That seems to be, if I remember correctly, the speed limit around the DC beltways. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I have learned that when you're in the presence of somebody who might not be so grounded, the best thing to do is just to nod and smile and say, "Uh-huh."
Yep, smile and wave.
I agree. So, anyway, but so the Nutanix thing, we keep bouncing back and forth because of the chat. Love the chat, by the way. I told the architect, here's some more inside baseball. So I met this architect. He's like, just well-renowned, super nice dude. He just, he was smart. He's a smart guy. And I'm like, I told him point blank, I'm like, I don't like that you chose NVMe over TCP and only that. And I don't like how you're making custom integrations. And he's like, well, what would you want? And I'm like, I want to use whatever storage I want. I want it to be my choice. I want the freedom of choice. And he's just like, yeah, but and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you got to have I understand why they did it. You need to have the big dudes there to help. Not that I'm a fan of Elon Musk, but it's kind of like the whole like Tesla Roadster thing, right? Like, get the super fast, expensive car out there, make a little bit of money from that, and then you can do the big cheap vehicles. I know that didn't necessarily turn out the way that it was supposed to be, and probably won't for Nutanix either, but in retrospect, but I just want freedom of choice. I want to be able to roll in with my iSCSI array. I want it to be whatever it is, and I just, I will eat the bad IOPS. If it's poor IOPS, I'll eat those poor IOPS.
Yeah, but I think partly though you're asking for like, I hate to call it legacy, but like,
how dare you?
Yeah, right. Like,
my entire data center
had its day in the sun. NVMe over TCP is kind of the way forward. But I don't know if there's actually I was trying to think or look up if there's like a full standard. Like, iSCSI has a very, you do it this way and everyone has their IQNs and that's how it works. I don't think NVMe over TCP has that yet. Like, it's probably in the works. But until there's something like that, you're going to get proprietary stuff because, it's anyone's ball games. It's like with networking and like, what is a jumbo packet? Do we all agree what a jumbo packet is yet?
It's 9,000 MTU.
Yeah,
or
right.
Or 9,000. What 92?
It could be 9,000. It could be 9214.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
I learned of what was it? Mega jumbos that are meant for like 100 and 200 gig Ethernet. That are some like 40,000 number, but we don't agree what those are on. And I'm wondering if that's why Nutanix went proprietary this time, because no one said like, this is how NVMe over TCP should work if you want to talk to open storage. Because I don't think, like, if you look at someone like TrueNAS, who's definitely into iSCSI and has they just did what, RDMA over
RDMA
TCP
over
was their stuff.
Yep.
So maybe there's some standards that I'm not aware of, but that's my like, trying to take a glass half full look at it.
And you're probably right. Like, I know that Pure is like one of the early adopters of NVMe over TCP, so it makes sense. And I think I got a comment in the video where they're like, you don't have to run NVMe on NVMe over TCP. Like, your storage could be whatever. And I'm like, but why? Like, why? I mean, that was the question. Is like, if you're not running NVMe and you don't need those super low latencies and whatnot, then, but why? Yeah. Look at this chat. We got lots of people. Game Over Dave in there's talking about Banyan Vines. That's old 10 base 2 networking. That was like, TwinX and coax era. And all the, anyway. So yeah, I told them friends, I told them exactly what I wanted to tell them, which was like, hey, don't forget about me. I don't have a pure array in my garage, and I never will, because when a drive dies, it'll be like $10,000. I'll be like, too bad. So it's all proprietary anyway. I don't like the proprietary stuff of it. I just want to be able to buy what I want to buy.
That's fair, but I mean, when you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, you don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not their target audience because I'm not buying anything, not for my home.
Yeah, I mean, I go every now and then. I like to go on eBay and try to find a pure array, see if there's even one out there. There's not.
Yeah.
Whatever happens
they buy
to
them
them,
back, don't they?
they disappear. Yeah, they bring them in and do whatever.
Yeah.
To make them not on the market again. But yeah, it's. I think we'll see it go over time, because like one of the I think it was Allison mentioned that like a school is going from Proxmox to ESXi. If you want to capture that lower end market, which eventually they probably will, you're going to use iSCSI. You're going to do the stuff that's
or
the lower end
NFS
instead of straight up.
Give me NFS or give me death.
Yeah, so
maybe
we'll have to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. Again, I said my piece, and of course they did the kind thing, which is like, grandpa, okay. But I meant it because it's important. But that's just me. So we had some topics to run through here, and I figured we were just kind of like talking about the Synology fiasco, because that happened while you were gone.
Yeah, I was late to the party, and it made me think about it this morning, because someone I think they posted on, it was r/Synology, which is asking like, hey, what is Synology doing in general right now, like outside of obviously sticking labels on drives, which was funnily enough the first comment, which I think tells you like where their user base is right now.
Yeah.
But there makes the points that like they haven't really released any new like NAS hardware. I think they released some new cameras recently, but that was about it. Allegedly DSM-8 is somewhere in the background. Not really sure. And then outside of this lockdown thing, which seems to be their main focus, which sounds like they've gotten some serious pushback on. Especially since it sounds like they've basically modified the firmware to make sure it says Synology and then stuck a label on it and shipped out the order to you for twice the cost.
Yeah. Well, thing is, something's going on with them, because I don't know if I mentioned to you guys in the chat, but they had contacted us about sending us a review unit of the DS925 Plus, and I was like, yeah, of course. We looked at the 923. Yeah, with 923, so. And that was, again, there was no drive lock-in, no vendor lock-in for anything there, and they and then all the stuff blew up, and there was the big to do that we talked about here on the show, from the guy who runs NAS Compares, right? He made a big letter, because the DS925 Plus is out in Europe and Asia. It already exists.
Interesting.
You could buy it. But they pulled it for North America. They delayed it. And so I don't have one. And so it's kind of like one of those deals where, like, does that mean that, is it supply chain shortage? Is it tariffs and all that kind of junk? Which, I mean, seriously, it could be at this, and like, I feel like it's choose your poison. But my suspicion brain goes, I wonder if it's because they got enough pushback that maybe they're rethinking their strategy, or maybe they're holding off a little bit to chill out and make sure that the fire and the flames die down. We'll see.
I think they are on the like, let's go for the enterprise market train.
But they were never that though, and they don't.
I agree, but they have 60 bay units that you can buy and do full. I think was it Linux MD RAID with ButterFS on top. And run the full Synology interface with all of that. I don't know. I have yet to run into someone who's not like a YouTuber who has one, like a real full business, which is when you want those certified drives, right? Like I want, if my array of 60 drives has an error, I just want Synology to ship me a new one, and I don't want to think about it. I don't really care about that. But when you're talking about like a 4-bay NAS, what's the grab here?
It's a know your market sort of situation, right? Like, Their justification at the time, and as it's been well documented, is that they're dealing with too many support calls, and that if they do this, they believe that they can cut down their costs. Now, if that's the case, does that mean you're going to get a discount on a Synology if you end up eating the drives? And I mean, the short answer is no. This is capitalism, friends. The prices go up and they never go down. So, like, that's whole justification is not very, in my opinion, customer focused or customer centric. And knowing their audience, knowing the average people who are putting them in their houses, they don't, I mean, maybe people accept it. Like, the prices have gone down. When they first released their enterprise drives, they were like $100 more a drive just for a label. And now they're about $30, $40 more for a drive just for a label. It's still, depending on the size of your array, a lot of money, right? You get 4 of those and you're at $120 extra just for storage that you didn't need to pay before. So I do worry, or wonder, I shouldn't say worry, but I do wonder if they have forgotten who their customer base is and their audience, and maybe they're like, they've lost sight of their primary customers. Because I will say one more thing, not to belabor this, but when I was at the Nutanix Next thing and I was arguing with this guy over storage arrays, one of the guys there made a joke about, like, well, we're never going to have like some customer roll in and use a Synology. And I'm like, wait, there's nothing wrong with Synology, is what I said at the time, minus the whole drive fiasco. But
Yeah.
it does make you wonder, like, if they think they're going to be enterprise, and this is an enterprise thing to do, maybe they need to take stock of what other businesses think of their product line in terms of like their enterprise level.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard they're a rock solid NVR, and there's no doubt that they have some of like the best software, especially the licensing on it and all that. But like, I mean, Geek of All Trades put in here that like dentists are using them with Veeam as SMB backups, and that's just a repo.
Yeah.
That's a really good use case, but your dentist is not buying a 12 bay storage array with 10 gig on it and all that. And yeah, so I don't think they realized how pigeonholed they are into the S of that SMB market. Then maybe they think they are.
Yeah. Well, if this is a way to get out of it, then it's a pretty disruptive way to do it, and disruptive in a bad way, not disruptive in like we're changing the game for everybody. I mean, they are.
Yeah, I don't know how do you attract like a new customer though? How do you make yourself more enterprise, I guess, was what they were trying to the answer to the real question. Because like I would say 45 drives, as Geek of All Trades said, is a really good hardware solution. They just don't have the software quite back it up yet. I mean, you tried rolling your own, and that's using like some of their stuff. And grant you didn't have all the
yeah, I didn't have all the behind the wall
bells and
stuff,
whistles and the proper firmwares and all that type of stuff. But still, I mean, that's another open platform to run a NAS on versus actually Synology closing everything down. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, like Allison just said, IX and 45 drives are already more enterprise than any Synology. And yes, I mean that's their business, right? They're like 45 drives is making from the ground up the whole stack and selling it to be enterprise ready, and IX is taking either Supermicro or I think they're also using Gigabyte, depending on who it is, to be the iron for their arrays, and then putting TrueNAS on top of it. TrueNAS Enterprise. It's not called Scale anymore. Just TrueNAS.
Yeah, community and enterprise. That's it.
Well, the scale's not there. They failed on the scale part. There was no scale.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm also kind of mad about that because the way they're doing scale is to scale out using MinIO containers. So you'd have 3 TrueNASs that were running MinIO, and MinIO is doing your your object storage, and that is technically scalable object storage.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be scale object storage. It was supposed to be like scale storage.
Yeah, no, it's supposed to be scale everything.
Yeah, like we're scaling the whole thing, aren't we? Or what are we scaling here? Let's.
And yes, there we go. That's the other feeling I have right now from TrueNAS is community is now become a test bed.
Yes.
Yes.
Game over.
And I guess that's why we're leading into our second topic here. But
yeah. So we talked about it a little bit. I talked about it while you were gone too, about how I did my upgrade, and I was talking to my neighbor down the street over there. Actually, you can't see that way. And he was telling me how he had his dad upgrade his TrueNAS because he was helping his dad do his local storage. And his dad had a bunch of virtual machines, and they were just like, poof, all gone, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. The same thing happened with when they moved to Docker, right? Because they tried to roll over all your Kubernetes things to Docker, and depending on what you had, it either worked really well or it blew up. In like in your case, where that storage container gone.
Yeah, both my storage. Yeah, there's like two of them. Yeah, that was a bad deal. I'm still a little hurt, little raw about that, but.
Well, and then the same thing happens with Inkdisk. Like I treat my TrueNAS as its storage. You run NFS, you run SMB, you run iSCSI on it, but you don't really do that much else that you care about on it. That's how I kind of roll with it. I understand I might be in maybe not the majority of the use cases that lots of people throw their everything on it, like your Sonars, your Plexes, your all that, which is what they tell you can do. So I kind of, lose my mind here when they change an underlying technology, and they've done it with two things now that maybe, I don't know, they didn't feel like they were on the roadmap to me of what TrueNAS was going to be.
I agree. I'd like to know, you guys in the chat who are watching this, like, have any of you been affected by the changes? Because this is kind of like a read the fine print. Thank you, Sakura. Yeah. I would genuinely, yeah, K-It's is gone. Yeah, Dave, that's correct. But like, I want to know if other people were affected, because unlike you, it is my primary storage for everything, right? Except for my virtual machines run inside of a ZFS container in Proxmox, so they're in the actual host. So I don't store VMs in there, but I do store everything else. Everything else is in there. But I also, like, if they're going to offer those features, if they're going to offer containers, if they're going to offer LXC now, if they're going to offer VMs, maybe I want to use them. Why not? Like, we shouldn't be in a situation where we're afraid to use them because they might pull the rug out from underneath it, because that's just bad business. Like, that's Community Edition shouldn't be like the is it going to work tomorrow edition, right?
And like, right now, I have a workflow where I use TDAR to transcode stuff, and currently it sits on my TrueNAS, and it, the file gets sent up to my Docker server, does the transcoding, and sends it back. But that's a great case to be on the actual NAS, assuming you have the horsepower, right? I don't trust it now. Like, I need that data. Most of that container is ephemeral, but there are configs and stuff that I don't really want to have to go through again. And I'm just kind of like, is tomorrow, are we going to change back to Kubernetes? Are we going to try something else? I also don't know how baked Incus is. I hear lots of people talk about it, but
Yeah, I'm just watching the chat here.
I know. But my camera is free because I got it from work, so that's my caveat here.
Put that on the screen there.
Also, the blur feature behind me, that is because of StreamYard, and I have no idea, out of all the bokeh effects, they decided to choose the one that looks like you just smudged it sideways.
It's motion blur. It's like you're moving so fast. Yeah. No excuse, no quarter. Yeah, there's some people in the chat here who were talking about, like Rudy mentioned, he migrated Beehive VMs to from core to Scale, and Scale's Incus.
Okay.
That was a big jump, my friend. That was going from an entirely different operating system over. So that's, I wouldn't run VMs in there personally because I have Proxmox for that. Or if I'm testing on some different platform, I'm going to be running it there, right? But I do think that containers do belong there. I do think that there's the reason to diversify your container locations. I don't want to like imply that it's okay to sprawl, like do container sprawl, but I do think it's okay to like have a Pi hole on there and a Pi hole somewhere else, and that way, in case one dies, the other one's going to work, and no one's going to come running for you when that server goes offline. So, like,
Yeah, and I
you know,
mean, in my dreams of grandeur here, wouldn't TrueNAS be a great place to start a Docker swarm? If we're really
yeah,
going to talk about that, I mean, for home labs, I'm not sure I'd do that in production, but when we're talking about a place, if you want the scalability of being able to move your containers left and right, having a swarm like that, which is why I kind of thought I was kind of shocked when Kubernetes left, because that was the whole point of Kubernetes, right? Was the fact that if it died on one thing, it would just spin up on the other side. Your
yeah,
NFS container would just show up somewhere else. But it just it feels bad when it's your core storage, and it's changing all the time.
yeah. Like Levick said in the chat, like you can't fault anyone for running Plex on TrueNAS because that's where your
Exactly.
media is at.
Yeah.
Like that's be as close as you can. Like that's a lesson for the cloud. Like that's why we have edge networks and edge deployments, is because the closer you are, the faster and more efficient it is. So, and yeah, so let's look at we have some alternatives to talk about, right? Because if you want to talk about what else is out there in terms of storage, we've got oh, that's not the right button, Rich. Sorry, guys. I know what I'm doing.
I agree with
What's going on?
Jay Perler there that Kubernetes is just overkill. I think we could go on a whole rant about how like Kubernetes feels like a great solution for things, but just for one person running a home lab is crazy.
I
do
don't
Docker,
know.
do Podman, but even K3s, which is supposed to be simple, feels like a lot.
Yeah, I know that I'm not interested. I've watched videos from people like Ray Al and others who have like put together Kubernetes clusters. I'm like, again, but why?
Yeah,
but yeah.
So let's say you're done with TrueNAS, or at least you're looking over the garden wall. Where would you be going first?
I don't know. So I'm here. So the thing is, I should full disclosure. Like I'm not unhappy enough with TrueNAS yet to abandon it. I haven't hit. I just want to go. Oh,
so Levick's HexOS is TrueNAS under the hood.
Yeah, I believe it's just a wrapper, isn't it?
It is. It's just a wrapper of. It's at the bottom. You'll see a IX Systems thing. Cool. Okay. I just was checking if we didn't know that was a new version of it, but and TrueNAS has built a GUI around like ZFS replication and stuff that I really don't want to have to figure out command line right now, because why do that when you can point and click?
So I'm not ready to give up on it. However, I am starting to get to the point where I think like a video is brewing that may be like, what's the deal with TrueNAS community, right? But are there people in the chat here using Unraid? Let me know if you are, because it's one of those things that, like, the fact that you have to pay for it, and that there's a lot of weird things that we reviewed a device that ran Unraid, and it was really nice. It was a really refreshing interface compared to, what we typically see with Synology or something like that. This is in terms of the NAS, and the one thing that I liked about it was just they took more of a. You've got. I wish I still had the system up and running. I could show you, but can we get some screenshots up in the house here? Some little bit here.
No, I mean, I've always thought Unraid was really cool because whatever your largest drive is can be your parity drive, and you can just kind of take, your drives of different sizes and work them all together.
But there's something goofy about Unraid, like you can't install it on a drive. It has to be running on a USB stick or something.
That's how they do the licensing.
Okay.
So you take a USB stick and it becomes your license, as well as it might be where it boots from as well. It's one of the few things that still can boot from USB. But yeah, it's the key is tied to that USB you have running. So when you lose if you lose the USB, you just have to spin up a new one with the same key.
So you buy a license, it has it functional forever, but you need to pay more to get updates past the 1 year. It looks like it's $36 a year. You know, old Rich would have probably been like, I'm not paying for nothing. But, you know, if they promised a reliable platform that didn't like upend itself every couple of update cycles, then Sakura said you can only change the USB stick once a year.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, so I mean, maybe it changes less, but I've also heard it runs into the same issue of like, do you want your storage server to be doing everything?
Yeah, I mean, yes, not everything.
Yeah,
but I do want the ability to do so. Freedom of choice. Give me the choices. Give me the freedoms.
fair enough.
Can I have all the
I
freedoms,
mean,
please?
you could have the freedoms. It's just rolling your own.
Levick said, sorry, I can't run anything that runs off a USB stick anymore. Just a hard pass for me. You know, he's not wrong in the sense that, like, back in the day, remember we used to install ESXi on an internal memory stick?
I would install ESXi. My original TrueNAS back when it was core was just 2 USBs sticking out the back of my my NAS there, and it worked great. I know, you know, allegedly everything is writing logs now. That was at least the reason ESXi gave for the change. I don't know why. I guess as they ran the same thing as that the Linux distro they're using just commits everything to disk now, and that was what was killing them. I know the same thing happened when there were a lot of Dell used to sell vSAN that used 2 64 gig SD cards as boot. And those aren't fun.
Yeah, you use SD cards to boot. Those were the days when you didn't have to worry about, like, I don't know, about burning out cells because they weren't writing logs to disk. That's why VMware never wrote to, back in the old day, VMware didn't write logs in ESXi. You had to give it a target, because if you didn't, you wouldn't have any logs. They'd be all ephemeral. And if it died, RAID 1 on an SD card. That's right.
Yep.
And shout out to Technologies dropped us a picture of his unrated. Can you pop that up somehow? Since
you're the one with the screen share, man.
Oh yes, let me see if I can, because this man has quite an impressive amount of storage here. So let me see what I can do. Talks amongst yourselves. Well,
M4 generations of Cisco's. Yep, that's what I had. I got a Proxmox Ceph cluster running on them too.
All right.
I kind of agree with Sakura though. SATA DOMs aren't great. I know you and I both had them and they both died. And they were supposed to be like fancy super micro ones. I'm not sure how new they were, but
well, that's probably the problem, is that they weren't new. So
well, come on, I can't. I got discs right now that are in my garage right now that have been chugging around way past 20,000 hours.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But I don't know what sort of like flash media that they use in those.
Fair enough.
What's going on here? Approve. I'm approving myself. I had to approve myself. How about that? Okay. And I copied this over because this is quite an impressive amount of storage here. That's good. Let's just upload said file. I need to find an easier way to do this on the fly, because it's
Yeah. Does anyone know if Unraid has any sort of scalability to it, or is it just scale up?
I bet it's just scale up. Add more drives.
Yeah, like add more drives, add more RAM, and I don't know if is Unraid by default a ZFS, or is it a ButterFS MD RAID thing? Okay, so just scale up. That's what I figured. But you can obviously back up stuff from it. Okay.
This photo shall be here shortly. If I can make my next cloud.
Dang, that's not bad though. Full of 14 terabytes.
Come on now, pause.
Yeah. I guess the real question is and also I guess as someone who doesn't know a lot about ZFS, so XFS is the default. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Is it a when you cache, is it a read-write cache or just a read cache, kind of like a
There we go.
L2 arc? That's what I was looking for.
All right, so I'm going to zoom in on this. This comes courtesy of a gentleman who is in our Discord. This is Shadow Technologies. He's got 2 different names. That's why I'm doing like everybody's got different different names, different handles of locations. So I'm going to enhance. So this is what that looks like. My dude's got a lot of storage in here.
It's only 12 disks. It's not that bad.
Only 12 disks. Plus he's got 2 parity drives that are equal size. So and cache drives and the boot disk is a USB. I think it's a Toshiba Cruiser. Anyway, I do like this user interface. I think that it's but again, booting off a USB stick, it feels icky inside. Oh, and then of course, if our number 1 data hoarder didn't have a word to say about it. SanDisk Cruiser, that's it. I couldn't remember the name of that thing.
Man, we gotta figure out a way to do tags on the Discord. I know the data hoarder subreddit lets you put a little tag that says like this much storage with this array or whatever.
We just need a platinum or a silver, gold, silver, and bronze thing for that stuff. And then, oh my gosh, oh my OMG, no. He's already won. So, but this brings it to, let's talk about these other like more pure storage systems, right? OS Nexus is one that I think that we have another gentleman on our Discord named John who he runs OS Nexus amongst other things, and I have yet to give this a go, but I'm interested. But this is more actual pure storage. If I remember correctly, you can actually run it for free for a certain amount of storage, but I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, it's like 80 terabytes per node. But I didn't know do you know if it just does 2 nodes or if it requires 3?
I mean, I imagine it would take 3 just because. Oh yeah, so Coral Dayton uses it as well. So, oh my gosh, and then of course,
Space is direct.
Yeah.
No.
If there's one thing I can, this gentleman right here, every show, he's always got something for me. Terry, how is your storage spaces doing these days? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, right.
He's my local Hyper-V heckler. So anytime I say anything other than, but yeah, so I'm guessing with OS Nexus is probably 3. Because
it's one or 3. Okay, yeah. That's fair.
That's typically.
I'm trying to find a use for the dual node I have, and I know at least on the next one I think you have is Virtual Star vSAN, or Starwind Virtual vSAN. Starwind. Yeah, and they have you can just set up 2 of them that will sync back and forth and do a HA.
Passive.
Yeah, active passive node essentially for NFS, SMB, and I think an S3 bucket.
Do they have a free version of this as well?
They do. They also have a full hypervisor as well, which I haven't looked into. So that'll be the real question here.
There must be this guy here. Their virtual HCI appliance, or is just requestable? Yeah, that's got to be it. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, they're virtual stand free.
Okay, that checks out.
I clicked on it. Send me.
But yeah, and I mean, I think, you said a video is brewing. I think maybe it's time to go through at least those 2 and Unraid and ask yourself, like, do these things make sense for the HomeLab? Do they make sense for, you? Like, it's a lot to ask, a person to have 2 or 3 servers that are just for storage in their HomeLab too.
Does Sears even exist anymore? I thought Sears.
Maybe in an online capacity.
they like Starwind. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just it's one of those things that if anything, maybe it's time to talk about what IX Systems is doing, and maybe use the platform to say, hey, remember us? You're hurting us. It hurts us. But yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah. Shadow Technologies. Absolutely.
Sweet.
So yeah, let's move on. I gotta go back through because we're tearing through our time, which is awesome and unfortunate. I wanted to say let's go back to just the two of us if I can do it without screwing this up. Oop, there we are. Hello. This showed up on my doorstep, friends, and it's a. I'm just gonna put it in front of me. It's the first time we've gotten anything from Minis Forum. It's an NAB 9 Plus. And by the way, I know because Levix is going to say something here in the chat. All three of the little boxes I bought are still sitting here in a pile. I don't know at this point. I don't know. I feel overwhelmed with all the little things I've got sitting here. So I might just have to do a giveaway and be like, you get a mini computer and you get a mini computer, because it's just like at a certain point it's just not going to happen. But this guy right here is an interesting proposition because sorry for the pause. It's just a little box, right?
Very
Brandon,
Mac Mini-esque.
It's very Mac Mini-esque. Brandon, what do you think it's made out
of? Plastic?
It is 100% made out of plastic. It feels deceivingly light.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, I don't know what I didn't have an expectation for it. But it's got this interesting function that, so this is the top, right?
Yeah.
If I press right here, it goes clickety click, and then the door comes off, and then there's the
Hey man,
everything inside.
Everything should be toolless in my opinion by now.
Yeah, I can agree with that, I guess. But I will see how well it does. It's a beast though. This thing has got. Do I have the?
What are the NIC drivers? Because if they're Quantas or was it Marvell's, one of them pfSense isn't gonna work.
Yeah, it's only got a single interface. Oh, it's got dual interface. 2.5 gig. Man, I hope this is. Let's go to the specs. Oh, I don't have that up on the screen here. Let's get the specs back up on the screen here. I bet you anything they're Intel's. I bet you they're i226 fees. But we'll find out. I'm trying to click on specs, and it's like, not today, friends. So. That's cool. Package contents. Yeah. Okay. Where is
design?
None of these things work.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
So I will have to figure it out and see. It jumps right. Look at this. Like overview, compatibility. Overview, compatibility. Where's the specs? No specs for you.
Yeah, so are you thinking firewall with the 2 ports?
I'm not sure what it's okay. I do know it's got it. This thing's got an i9 12900HK CPU, which is, for a mobile processor,
overkill for a firewall.
That's pretty bad ass. It's got 32 gigs of RAM, which again, little much for a firewall, and a 1 terabyte SSD out of the gate. And I actually was thinking maybe this is something we stop by John's place and say, hey, let's rip out all that old server hardware that consumes a lot of power and put it all onto a little box.
Put everything in a box. Hey, with two NICs, you could do that.
Yeah, you could run a Forbidden Firewall on it as well as everything else, right? So, yeah. So that I'm interested to check that out. That just arrived, and it's deceivingly light. Like I thought it was going to be a big heavy. A lot of the stuff we'll get will just be like super heavy. Because I think that just to many, like weight weight is premium. Like, quality. Yeah. Yeah, it's not technically wrong, but yeah. So that's coming. But yeah, I don't know what to do with the 3 little mini PCs that I.
Do they have a Ethernet port on them?
They do. 2.5 gig.
I thought we were going to make some tail-scale VPN routers with them.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely good. Actually, that's a great idea. I think everyone's talking about.
Because then I think they should be fast enough to handle our. We have a gig connection in between us, so that should be just fine.
Did
you buy? You bought a 5 gig connection?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, baby. I have 5 gig. gig.
You don't have the Ubiquiti infrastructure for that.
You're right. That's why I'm using TrueNAS, or not TrueNAS. That's why I'm using pfSense and my 10 gig connection.
Yeah, but you don't have a client that takes that.
No,
And Linux packages do not need 10 gig.
look. I'm gonna start up a private VPS using Platform 9. I'm done with this YouTube thing. I'm going straight to private, cloud stuff, and that's the way it's gonna be.
Right. Let me know when the FBI vans show up.
Hey, I will vet and validate. Everyone will pay in Bitcoin. It'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, if I remember correctly, you don't have like a 10 gig switch at your desk or anything like that to really absorb those packets. I mean, Steam is the only thing I know that can really pump out a gig or more, and that's assuming you're close enough to a node. Okay, but hey, if it was $20 more and you got $20 to give away.
Yeah. I don't know what your problem is. The chat is on my side. I'm just looking at this.
The chat would always be on your side.
Sean, I have lots of 10 gigs. So he means that my laptop upstairs.
Yeah, no, sorry. You got the aggregation Pro or whatever
Ag
that
Pro,
I have too, right?
Yeah.
It's got 25 and 10s on it. Now his servers connect at 10, but all his clients and the value you gain from having 5 gig downloading games and movies and stuff like that, you're not going to get that.
I'm a premium hoster with premium upload, and I don't charge for ingress or egress.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can try, have fun. I mean, the last thing I want to do is answer a call at like 2 a.m. because one of my servers is down, trying to pay back my customers.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm all joking aside. Like, that is not a business I want to be into. I already have to answer an after hours X Matters call when something goes offline that's business critical. I don't want to also have to do that for myself.
Yeah, and then you'd have to like pay them back if you missed one of your 9s. Maybe my uptime would just be 1 9.
9%
9% of the year. Super cheap, but it's only a 1 9.
Yeah, like Leavix, that's working overnights. Actually, one of our Zakura has got a website called Downtime as a Service. That's kind of what I'd be selling. Just like,
there we go.
We're never online. We're always available.
That sounds like a hacker group. Like you just you start a DDoS attack to Downtime as a Service. Oh no.
Oh man. So, yeah, you know what, Brandon? I think we should probably bring it to a close because too much fun, and I have to get my private cloud booted up here and running.
Yeah,
so
right.
I can make some of my. So, let's bring it to a close, friends. As always, it is so much of a good time to hang out with you guys. The chat is on fire tonight. This is my second time. Brandon allows me just 2, but join our Discord. You can get to the links from the places and the stuff and the Jello pudding. Just go there and join our Discord. It's totally free. You can hang out with me and everybody else that's here in the chat.
Links in the description.
Links in this. Well, yeah, it is actually. The link is in the description. Also, we also do a after live show, hang out and chat. Well, I do. People come and go. So you can hop in there.
I would join. However, Helldivers just dropped a new
I was going to ask you about that. Now you get to fight in the city and not on a dirt ball. And
yeah, I'm like, I might have to jump and do that. Democracy needs me.
No matter what, I cannot play that game. I just don't enjoy it. It's just too stressful. And video games are supposed to be fun, and that's too stressful. But, all right, guys. So if those of you are going to hang out in Discord and chat, we'll see you over there. And Brandon, thanks for joining us. And good to have you back in the great state of Oregon. And we will catch you guys next week.
Sweet.
See ya.
See ya.